President Obama is finally standing up for Main Street and pushing for increased lending to small businesses. And Congress is following his lead with plans of their own. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia wants to create a $50 billion fund to help community banks step up the lending process for small businesses. The fund would include $40 billion of TARP money. The remaining $10 billion would come from participating banks. Senator Warner sent his proposal to President Obama last week, along with 32 other signatures that came out of the Senate with his colleagues. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia joins us tonight here on the program. Senator, good to have you with us.
Thanks, Ed, for having me on again.
You bet. It's a crucial issue, and I know that you have spoken with hundreds of small business owners across your state of Virginia. You've curry-combed the countryside. Isn't the number one issue health care? And is that not to get this off the backs of small business to get this economy going again?
Listen, small businesses are the only people who pay retail for their health care, and we've got to get health care fixed. But my fear is we are going to get health care reform done this year. By the time the reforms kick in, a whole lot of these small businesses may be out of business, because even if they're profitable, what we're seeing is so many of the banks pull back their credit, decrease their lending lines, so the banks can try to hoard their capital to try to increase their balance sheets, so they do the right thing for the banks, which is try to protect against the bad commercial loans they've still got on their books. In the meantime, small businesses, which historically have been the source of job growth coming out of a recession, oftentimes 65, 70%, they're getting left literally without the financing. In some cases, I've talked to retailers, literally without the financing to even hire people for the holiday season.
Senator, you come from a unique perspective. You were a very successful businessman in the private sector before you went into the Senate. Does this administration have the chops to turn things around for small businesses? And I don't know how else to put it. I mean, we've done the TARP money on Wall Street. We've seen these bonuses paid out. We see small businesses not hiring people. Capital is tight. Lending is tight. How do we free that up? What do you have?
Well, listen, there are good things that have happened. You know, the Dow is back at 10,000. Wall Street's doing fine. You mentioned it, $130 billion of bonuses going to be paid out over the next couple of months. But, you know, Wall Street at 10,000 doesn't mean anything if you don't have a job, or if you're a small manufacturing company, or if you're a small butcher shop or an auto repair shop. So what I've said is, and this won't cost the taxpayer a dollar because we've already allocated these funds, let's use some of the TARP funds that have not been used by the larger banks. Let's put up some of this money. It could be a combination TARP money and Fed money. Have the banks themselves put up 20 cents for every 80 cents we put up, and take that first dollar loss and say to the banks, here's a pool. I say upwards of $50 billion. Use it or lose it. We would not allow these banks to simply put this money out back on their balance sheets. Let's get out there and lend to these small businesses. Let's get out there and lend to these mid-sized businesses.
You want the federal government to back up these loans more so than what they have been doing?
Yeah, the administration has taken some small steps. The administration has helped shore up the SBA. The administration has helped some community financial development institutions. But really, it's been around the edges. This is a major, major problem for the job creator of most of our economy. And we need to do more. If we can put tens of billions of dollars into AIG alone, why we can't scrape together a few billions of dollars and then have the banks themselves put up capital and get this money out into the small business community that didn't create this crisis in the first place, and let them get back to the business of hiring people and doing the kind of things that drive the economy. I think we're making a mistake if we don't act more aggressively.
And Senator, I think it should be noted, these folks that are protesting in Chicago at the ABA Banker Convention, these folks are mad. I mean, they feel like they're being left behind, and they think that this is a two Americas being played out. There's a Wall Street and a Main Street, and I'll put even a time frame on it. If the Obama administration and the Senate doesn't get something done to turn these job numbers around in the next 6 months, it could be real brutal in 2010. You agree with me on that?
Amen to that, Ed. Amen to that. And you know, let's face it, we had to take some of these actions because the whole financial system was in jeopardy. The big financial system is in the process of repairing itself. If you're a big company, you can still get access to the capital markets. But if you're a mid-sized company, a small business, we need to make sure that we're shoring up that part of the market. I'm not asking banks to take irresponsible risks. I'm not asking the taxpayer to spend one more dollar that's not been already authorized and appropriated. I'm simply saying let's Let's get the banks to get some skin in the game by taking first dollar loss. Let's put up some of these TARP dollars that we've still got unallocated.
That'd work.
And let's direct it at where the jobs are going to be created, small and mid-sized businesses.
Senator Warner, good to have you with us. You got to come back. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ed.
Appreciate your time.